Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to continue our discussion on data types and data structures. So far, we have learned that for data structures, we have vectors, lists, we have matrices, arrays, factors, data frames, and we also mentioned time series and also panel data. So these are types of data structures. So far, we have learned that vectors are atomic structures in that they contain only one type. So we had examples of numeric vectors, character vectors, okay, so integer vectors. So these are a collection of elements that that are of the same types. So if you say logical vectors, then you have as you have an object consisting of all logical elements. You can have character, for example, by way of review. Let me just okay. So let me just create an object called G1. Okay, and we can make use of the constant called letters. So you can see here, if I type letters, these are built-in constant. If it's capital L, all caps, it will generate. So let's print this, and then let's get the class of G1, and then let's also get the type of, we know that this will give us also character, G1, and the length. Let's see the length of G1. Okay, if we run this, then it will generate this object. So we now have this object G1, and it contains all the letters of the alphabet, its character, okay, and it has a length of 26. Okay, there are other constants. Let me see, data. I'm going to ask for help. No, not data, but base. So this is coming from base R, base, then constants there. So this is our package, which comes preloaded with R. And then this is the function constants. So coming from base R, there are 5 constants: letters, all caps, letters, small, month.ab, month.name. So if I replace this by, let me generate another one here. Control C, Control V, let me, and then Control F, and I'm going to replace G1 with G2. Okay, replace. Oops, wrong. Next. Okay, replace G2, 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 G2. Okay, so let me go back here. This is G1. Okay, so what I did here, I hope I'm not going too fast. You know this already. I just replaced letters with big. Okay, big letters. So these are constants in R. If we print both of them, then we have big letters and small letters. Okay, you can use this month.name. Let's copy this. Control C, Control V. Let me use V3 here, and I'll use month.ab. Month. Okay, .ab abbreviated, and G3. G3 and G3, and here I'll use G4, and I'll replace this by month.name. Month.name. G4. Okay, I'm creating another two sets of objects, G3 and G4. One contains month abbreviation and another one contains month.name. All right, so let's run this, G3, G4. Okay, so character, and this one also, month.name, also character. Okay, so these are just examples of vectors. They contain, it's an atomic structure because they have the same, everything is the same elements. Okay, so far, any questions about this class? About vectors? Kindly chat, please, if it's clear. Okay, good. All right. Okay, thank you so much for your feedback. Now let's go to the next one. Okay, we looked at the sequence function before. Assignment operator, yes, we did that. Subsetting of vectors. Okay, so let's just, okay, let me just quickly discuss that. So we have created, let's use this, for example, G4. We have created G4. Okay, so it consists of January up to December. Now, subsetting a vector means just getting a particular element of your object. So, for example, if I subset this one G4, I'm just interested in the fifth and the fifth and the sixth element. Okay, so here G4, and then I use brackets 5 and 6. If I run this, okay, incorrect number of dimensions. Okay, so G4, my mistake. Okay, 5 and 6, 5 to 6. Okay, 5 to 6 indicates that we only want the fifth and the sixth element. Okay, so that's what we mean by subsetting. Just get a particular elements in your object. So to subset class, how do you subset? You use the brackets. Okay, and notice that a while ago I said 5, 6, and it generated an error term. Why? Because if you're subsetting, the first number is the row number, and the second number is the column number. Okay, so this is the syntax for subsetting. The first number is your row number, the second is your column number. Now G4, okay, so let's print G4. So G4 class is just a one row. Okay, it contains January to December. Isang row lang yan. No? Wala tayong, we're not dealing with a matrix here because a matrix has X number of rows and Y number of columns. Ito, isa lang to, vector lang, no? So this is the first element of your vector, second, third, fourth. The 5 here indicates that this is the 5th, 6th, this is the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay, so when I get the subset, I will have to identify the row and the column. Now, when I said 5, 6, I was saying that it's the 5th row and the 6th column. Okay, but there's no such thing as 5th row. You only have one row. Okay, and you don't have 6 columns. Hindi siya 5 by 6 na object. This is just a 1 by 12 object. One row one row lang siya, no? With 12 elements. So when you use a comma here, it means that it's the fifth row and sixth element, which is not correct because G4 is just one row. Isang row lang yan. So if you want the fifth and the sixth element, what you do is 5 and 6. So Excel will 5 to 6. Excel will read that as that's the fifth and sixth element of your row. Okay, and then I can put here comma, and it means that I'm not identifying any column because there are no columns in G4. If I run that, then see it will again, no, magkakamali na naman ng ano, no. Mali na naman yung syntax natin. Kasi wala namang columns eh. Pag sinabi nating blank to, ibig sabihin lahat ng columns kasama. But there are no columns. So you don't identify any columns na pa. Kasi wala tayong columns. So ganyan lang siya. No? It will give us May and June. If I identify 11, so this means that this is the 11th element in my G4, and then that will give us November. Okay, we'll go to subsetting more when we go to data frames. Kasi mas may meaning ang subsetting sa data frames or matrices instead of vectors. Kasi vector lang itong G4 na object natin. Okay, so it will just, we need only to identify pang ilang element yung gusto natin. Or if you want, kunyari 1 up to 5, 1 up to 6, then this will give us January to June. Yan, January to June. So suffice it to say, class, that when you're subsetting vectors, you use the brackets. Tapos isa lang i-identify nyo. Okay, wala kang comma. Kasi ang default ng subsetting is number of row by number of column. Okay, is that clear, class, yung subsetting of vectors? May I have your confirmation, please, if that's clear. Any questions about subsetting?
Clear so far, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right. So let's move on. Okay, good. And let's take a look at structure number 2, list. So we move from vectors to list. Ang list naman, class, it may contain any other data type. Okay, it can contain numeric, can contain integer, pwedeng logical siya, pwedeng character, pwedeng complex. Okay, and it contains also lists, no? So you can have a list within a list. Okay, so let's have an example. Okay, so let's tinanggal ko pala dito, no? So let's identify. Okay, Control Alt I. Let's call A. Sa A natin, let's sa length of 5. Sige, magawa tayo ng 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, A is a vector, numeric vector, di ba? Consisting of 5 elements. Si B, let's make B as, let's say, FINTSAR. One object siya, no? Tapos si C, okay, function, okay, hindi ko sinulat yung function dito, no? Okay, so, okay, let's leave that function for a while. I don't want to discuss that now. Let's just create C. Gawin nating logical. C, and then we have true, true, false, true, true, false, false. Okay. So here we have 3 objects, no? A, B, C. Yung una, it's a vector, numerical vector of a numerical vector of 5, no? Tapos si B, it's a character vector, FINTSAR. Tapos si C, logical vector siya. Okay, let's include. Sige, dagdagan natin ng D. Alt minus, and then Ayan, capital C yata ito. C, small c, oops. Small c, I'll make this small c. D. D, okay, and then 1L, 3L, 5L. Okay. So here we have an integer, integer vector of 3. So andito yung numeric, character, logical, integer. Okay. Tapos, i-combine natin siya. No? Let's run this. Ay, okay. Sorry. Mali. Dapat C to. Okay. So, andyan na si A, B, C, D. No? A, B, C, D. Andyan na siya. So, how do we combine them, class? Paano natin i-combine yung list na to? Okay, sige, dagdagan natin, no? Let's put another object, E. So, E is, gawin natin my list. My list, tapos, so meron tayong another character variable. Hello. And then, meron tayong, this is, naalala nyo, integer to, di ba? Tapos C, yan natin ng 3 minus 2i 5 plus 4i. Okay, so what do we have here? We have A, it's a numeric vector. B, it's a character vector. C is a logical vector. D is a integer vector. And E, okay, E is a list. Diba? List ito. Bakit siya list? Kasi it combines a character, numeric, and logical. Kinumbine niya. Sorry, complex pala. Complex, not logical. And if you run everything, so what do we now have? Meron tayong A, B, C, D, E, no? Okay. So if we check, for example, kunin natin yung class nito. Class nitong E. So ang class ng E, okay, si E, class, what do you notice? Ano nangyari dito? When I get the class of E, it was a character. Bakit naging ganun? Yeah, bakit naging ganun, class? Eh di ba ang combination to ng mga combination to ng different ng different data types. So, andyan yung my list, andyan yung hello, andyan yung 1 to 5, andyan yung complex. Eh bakit siya naging dahil sa unang input? Ray, kindly share your answer to everyone.
They're not sure. Pero yun nga, since dahil my list yung nasa unang data.
O sige.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ang sabi ni Ray, dahilan sa my list yung nasa una. Okay, palitan ko ito lagyan ko ng 6 to 10. Okay. We know, class, that 6 to 10 is integer, di ba? In the use of colon, 6 to 10, integer to. So integer, character, integer, and then complex. Iran natin Iran natin to si E at saka yung class. Character pa rin, no? Ang nauna dito, integer. Okay, so it's not what comes first. Okay? So we're creating this combination of objects. Kaso magkakaiba sila. Now, will R accept that? Yes, it will accept that. Okay? Tatanggapin ni R. Kaso, ang mangyayari niyan, kasi hindi pwede, di ba, pag vector, hindi siya pwedeng, no? Pag vector, hindi siya pwedeng magkakaibang object, magkakaibang data types. So what did R do? Okay? What did R do? Ang ginawa ni R, it performed a process called imputation. Sorry, not imputation, iba yung iniisip ko, coercion. Coercion. Anong coercion? Ang ginawa niya, kinonvert niya yung mga objects na to to a data type where everyone can be, all the elements can be converted to. What do I mean by that? Okay, tingnan natin ha. Si my list ba, pwede natin ma-convert yan into a complex number? No. Si 6 to 10 ba, pwede ma-convert into a complex number? Actually, yes. No? Kasi yung 6, pwede yung maging 6 minus 0i. Okay? So what do I mean by this? R will now look at the data type where all the elements here can be converted to. Okay, si 6 to 10, pwedeng maging ano yan, pwedeng maging character. Si my list, character na yan. Si hello, character na yan. Si 1 to 5, pwedeng gawing character yan. Okay, lagyan mo lang ng quotes yan, magiging character na yan. Ito, yung 3 minus 2i at saka 5 plus 4i, it can be converted into a character. No? So lahat yan pwede maging character. So ang ginawa ni R, so since pinagsama-sama natin sa isang object, okay, isang object na lahat siya lahat iba't ibang klaseng data type, i-coerce niya, i-convert niya lahat ng mga objects na yan sa isang data type na pwede siyang i-convert. Okay, and all of these objects can be converted into a character. As I said, si 6 to 10 pwede maging character yan. Pero si mylist, hindi siya pwedeng gawing integer. Mylist, which is a character, cannot be converted into numeric. Okay? So lahat ng mga to pwedeng maging character but not vice versa. So what happens is that kino-coerce ni ano to. Kaya nga nung rin natin si class E, ang sabi niya, character to. So it's a vector. If you want to create a list out of this, so ganito gagawin natin, copy natin to. Control C, Control V. No? I'll create E1, and then here, I'm going to put here list. Okay. Okay, yung sabi dito, no? List. Okay, list. Wala yung yung intelligence. Yeah, list. And you can see here functions to construct, coerce, and check for both kinds of R lists. So i-coerce niya to. It will coerce this to become a list. Okay, so let's print this. Let's print E1. I'm going to put a parenthesis here, and then let's print E1. Let's run this. Okay. Now what happened? What happened now? So ngayon, nag-print siya ng yung mga elements, yung laman ng E1. So here, andito yung 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No? Okay, and this is, you know that this is integer. Integer to. Tapos yung pangalawa, so this one, yung una dito means it's the first element of your object E1. And then the one here means that this 6 is the first element of your first element in E1. Okay? Tapos itong 2 na to, this is the second element of E1 and it's my list, it's a character and iisang element lang naman yung my list. Ganun din dito, no? Third, fourth, fifth here means it's the fifth element of the object E1 and 1 here means the first element of the fifth element is 3 minus 2i. All right? And then we ask, what is the class of this object? What is the class of E1? The class is list. There. List siya. Okay, and if you take a look at the object here, you notice yung mga dating ginawa natin kanina, mga vectors to, under values. But under this one, data, you have here, data E1, list siya. So nakasegregate yung list sa vectors. If I click this, ayan o, yan, in-identify niya, no? Okay, so this is the first element. It's an integer element, 1 to 5, 6 to 10. The second one is character, my list. The third is hello, character, and then integer again, and then complex. Okay, so we now have an object that contains an integer, a character, integer, and complex. Okay, so what type of object is this? What's the data structure? Okay, I mean, not the data type, but the structure. It's a list. Okay? As against, pag vector siya, dito siya ilalagay sa values. Okay, vectors, this one, pare-parehong elements. List, it will not be placed under values, it will be placed under data. Okay, pause for a while, give you time to write the code. Okay, and then kindly please chat yes if you got this. I'll give you a few seconds to maybe you're writing the code. Thank you. Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much for your feedback. So we learned how to construct a list. Okay, and we have learned that it's different from a vector. Okay, so yung unang ginawa natin, di ba? Ito E siya, right? E. Okay, in fact, I can create an object here, F. Okay, i-complicate natin ng konti, no? So let's okay. Okay, so gawin natin dito, E is a list, and then isama pa natin dito, it's concatenate natin, pagsama-sama natin si A, B, C, D, E. Alright. So mukhang medyo complicated tong ano na to, no? Okay, what's happening here? So I'm creating a list, yung una, yung integer nga, tapos dalawang character, tapos another integer. Gawin natin tong numeric para may numeric tayo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, numeric siya. Tapos meron tayong complex. Tapos meron pa tayong combination ng A, B, C, D, E. Now, A, B, C, D, E are all vectors, no? They're all vectors. So, pinagsama-sama natin yung mga vectors sa isa. Okay? In fact, gawin natin itong ano. Okay, mas pinakomplicate ko pa, no? So, meron akong ginagawa natin itong list and inside it is another list. Okay? So, yung list natin, may list pa. Okay, dito kasi list, sabi ko, list ng A, B, C, D, E. So, ang mangyayari dito, it will create a list consisting of A, B, C, D, E. No? Okay? Yung list na to is inside a list. So, this complicates a bit the function. Run natin. Okay. So ano nangyari dito? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tapos dito, kita nyo, yung 6th element, okay, consists of list din to eh. Kasi meron siyang numeric, integer, meron siyang character, meron siyang, okay, so I just complicated, no? I just complicated everything here, and everything is under a list. So what I wanted to illustrate here is that a list, okay, a list can also contain another list. So this is a list within a list. Okay? So yung element nito, in fact, ito ano yung E1 na to, if I click this, ito, so you go here to your data, i-minimize ko na muna to. If I click this one, maglalabas siya nitong bagong ano. Yan. Take a look at this. No? So our E1 is a list of 6. Ano yung laman niya? Meron siyang integer, may character, may double. Okay? Ito yung 6 to 10, ito yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, may complex, and then it has another list. So E1 is a list which contains another list. If I click this, yan. Ang laman ng object number 6, which is a list, is actually this one. Yan laman niya. Okay, so you can see how different a list is from a vector. Si vector, isa lang pa pwedeng laman yan. Kung character lahat. Si list, lahat pa pwede. Okay, and we'll have examples of list in the future. Kunyari, yung regression output natin, pag nag-linear regression tayo, yung output niyan is a list. Okay, so you'll have vectors there, you'll have list also, which we're going to learn by next week, no, when we start with multiple linear regression. All right, so any questions so far? Clear ba yung distinction ng vector at saka ng list? Any clarifications? Okay, thank you. Anything you'd like me to repeat? Let me flash again the code. You might, okay, i-ano ka na lang. Okay, let me copy this, Control C, and you may wish to, okay, you may wish to copy the code. Of course, you have to have this one. You have to have A, B, C, D, E. Okay, copy ko rin po A, B, C, D, E. Kasi ginamit natin yung ano eh. Tanggalin natin tong class ng so, see, for those of you who were not able to, okay, yeah, so I defined A, B, C, D, E, okay, and then nag-create pa ako ng list dito, no? A, B, C, D, E. Okay, all right. Feedback again, class? Clear ba so far? Clear ba yung distinction natin ng vector at saka list? Okay. Question, gagamitin ba natin vectors? Yes. Yes. Gagamitin ba natin yung list? Yes. May mga outputs na as I said a while ago, a regression output in R is a list. So, ando dun yung coefficients, ando dun yung mga residuals, ando dun yung mga predicted values, etc. No? So the output of a regression model in R is a list. So it's important for us to be familiarized with the net data structure. Okay, the third object that we're interested in, the third data structure, are data frames. And these are very important kasi yung data natin most probably will be arranged in a two-dimensional array-like structure. Okay? So each column contains one variable, each row contains one set of variables. Okay, let me try to illustrate that. Let me see. Mag-annotate ako dito. Okay, so a data frame, it looks like this one. So meron tayong variable, kunwari variable x1, x2, x3, x4. Okay, and x5. Kunwari we have 5 variables, no? And each of these have its own value, have its own observation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So for this first observation, may value siya ng x1. May value siya ng x2, x3, x4, x5. Si 2 ganun din, no? May mga value siya. Okay? Then may mga values to, etc. So this is what we call a data frame. So number 1, hindi siya vector. Kasi x1 can be character siya. Pwedeng, kunyari, year level. Kunyari, this is a survey about students at the LSU. So year level, my frosh, my sophomore, etc., my graduating. And this can also be, x2 naman can be, let's say, numerical, pwedeng age. So we have here age. Tapos, ano pa? Pwede ring ito, let's say, okay, another type, no? Character, residence, kung saan siya nakatira, etc. Okay? So this is what we mean by data frame. It's a two-dimensional array-like structure. Each column contains values of one variable. Okay? Each column contains values of one variable. So this is variable x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, etc. And each row contains one set of values from each column. So this row is one set of values for each of the columns here. Okay? So this data structure is called a data frame. Okay, so what are the requirements for a data frame? The columns should be non-empty. Okay, dapat may mga laman yan, no? The row name should be unique. Okay, like this one, in this case, naka-index lang siya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. The data can be numeric, it can be factor, it can be character type. So let me explain what a factor is. A factor is similar to a character. Only that, ang factor, pwede siyang magamit na classifier. Kunyari, itong example natin kanina, si X1. Di ba year level yan, sabi natin? So ang answers dyan, frosh, sophomore, junior, senior, graduating, etc. Now, that technically is a character. Kasi frosh, character yan eh. Pero may mga character variables na pwede siyang gamitin na classifiers. Okay, so you can classify all the frosh together, all the sophomores together, etc. So kapag ganun class yung character, okay, it can be treated as a factor. Second example natin, yung residence. Manila, Makati, Las Piñas, etc. So that is a character variable also. But that can be considered as a classifier. So pwede natin i-classify yung mga taga Manila, taga Makati, etc. Or gender, male, female, no? So that's also a character type, pero it can be used as a classifier, so it's regarded as a factor. So all variables that are character in nature but can be used as a classifier are considered to be factors. Now next week we will see the importance of factors. Okay, so for as long as it can be used as a classifier, then okay, no? All right. And then each column should contain the same number of data items. Okay, this is very important. For example, there are 50 observations. Hanggang 50 tayo, kunyari 50 sinurvey, no? Hindi pa pwede na si column 1, 60 observations siya. Hindi pa pwede yun. Tapos si column 3, 55. Okay, kailangan pare-parehong observations si X for X1, X2, hanggang X5. All of them should be the same. Okay, same number of data items. All right. Okay, let me pause for a while. Any questions? Clear so far about data frames? Paki-chat please kung clear. Okay, good. All right, thank you. So data frames are very important to us. No? Okay, so bago tayo pumunta sa example 1, mag-insert muna tayo dito. Control-Alt-I. Let me see. Let's install this package. Install the packages. Datarium. There's a package called Datarium. So let's install this. And then i-library natin siya. Datarium. Okay. All right. Package Datarium successfully unpacked. And then we can now check. We can now load it. Library Datarium. Okay, kindly check, please, if you were able to load already Datarium. And then we can check here under packages. Check natin si Datarium. Datarium. Right, Datarium here. Notice na naka-check na siya kasi nag-library na natin, di ba? Okay, so it's a data bank for statistical analysis and visualization. So this contains several data. Let's open this. Okay. All right. Tapos mag-ano tayo, tingnan natin ang let's try to access one data, itong marketing. I'll just show you an example of a data frame. Okay, so here I'm going to Control-Alt-I, data, okay. Yan, tinap ko data marketing there. Oops. Data marketing. So let's see class. Data marketing. All right. So when I run this class, data marketing, notice na lalabas dito sa ano natin, sa data. Okay, sa values muna, marketing siya. Here. Lalabas sa marketing, promise pa lang. And then when I view this, let's view this, view marketing. Enter. Okay. So please chat if you were able to get the marketing data set. Please tell me if you want me to repeat.
Sir, can you repeat po ulit?
Yeah,
Sorry.
sure. Sige, sige. Thank you. Thank you for that question, please. I appreciate you asking questions, guys. So ito, nag-load muna tayo ha. I-share ko to. In case you haven't copied it, you haven't written it. So yan. In-install muna natin si Datarium na package. Datarium, as I've shown, it contains data, several data that we can access. So, nag-library tayo sa kanya. Tapos, may isang data doon ito, marketing. May iba pang data. No? There are other data here. And then, I access marketing by using the data function, data. And then, Okay, to make it available, dapat i-ano natin, i-view, no? View marketing there. Okay, tapos, you notice now that andito na siya sa data. Yan. It's not in the vectors, no? It's in the data together with the list. Tapos ito data frame. Tapos ang difference siya with the list, si list magnifying glass lang, no? Si data frame, tingnan niyo to. Diba? Yan. It's an icon here. It's a spreadsheet icon. If I click this, lalabas yung data frame na to. In fact, let's check. Let's check kung anong klaseng, anong structure to. Okay, class marketing. Okay, it's a data frame. Right? Data.frame siya. Okay, kindly chat please if you're able to follow along. If you have questions, please feel free to shoot your questions now.
Clear na po, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, how about the others? Paki-chat naman please kung clear so far.
Sir,
Yes?
sir, it's saying error in view marketing. Could not find
View
function
marketing. Okay, sige, tingnan natin ha. Capital V ba yung view mo?
no sir,
Ha?
small v also.
Dapat capital V ha.
Ay, okay.
Naroon na?
Yes sir, okay na po.
Okay, kasi pag small v yan, hindi siya mag-error yan. Let me show that. Very sensitive si R sa ano sa correct writing ng code. Kung view yan, okay, mag-error siya. No? Could not find the function view. So for the view function, it has to be capital V. Okay? So yung view function, tingnan natin to class, no? Does this correctly represent a data frame? Okay, ito. Yung mga columns may mga names, no? Each has a unique row. Ang pangalan ng rows, ito yung index 1 up to 200 siya. Tapos, are they the same observations for all the columns? Yes. 200 sila bawat isa. Okay, sometimes may pwedeng magkaroon ng missing values dyan. Okay? So I'm not saying that all the values here should have values. Kasi minsan, baka wala, no? So, baka maging 0 yung isa o kaya missing values. So, pwede pa rin data frame yun. Kaso, we will discuss later on pag may mga missing values that can really affect the computation. So, we will deal with missing values in the future. Suffice it to say, class, that here there are 200 observations. Parehong row number yung column ng YouTube, Facebook, newspaper, and sales. Okay, so this is an example of a data frame. It is not a vector. In fact, let's get the, okay. So let's use another function called names. Names ni marketing. Dati hindi pa natin nakukuha to, no? Kasi yung mga objects natin dati, ano pa lang, no? Vectors pa lang. So wala pa mga names talaga yun kasi wala naman silang column names. For this one, names ni marketing, let's see. Okay, yun. Kita nyo yung name ng variables, no? YouTube, Facebook, newspaper, sales. Okay, unlike yung kanina, tingnan natin yung names ni naalala nyo si natin, si list, names ni E1. E1, if you recall, it's a list, diba? List of 6. If we run this, okay, null. Null. Kasi ang may names lang, class, si, okay, isa sa may mga names is a data frame. Okay, kasi may mga pangalan yung mga columns sila. So sa data frame, dapat may pangalan yung columns natin. Yan. And then if you use the length, ano yung length ng isang data frame? Length ng marketing. Okay. 4. Bakit 4? Ang in-identify lang niya yung 4 columns. So 4 columns siya. Unlike kapag vector, kapag kinuha natin yung length ng isang vector, ibibigay sa atin number of elements. For a data frame, ibibigay sa atin yung number of columns. All right. So let's go to this one, the discussion below. So we're creating these 3 objects, N, S, B, and DF. Okay, N is it's a vector. No? It's a numerical vector. S is a character vector. B is a logical vector. So we're creating this object called DF, and then we are coercing it to become a data frame. Kanina list, di ba? Pwede rin naman kasi tayo mag-create ng list on this. But this time, data frame na NSB. So let's run this. Okay, then you can now see that may DF na tayo dito. DF, nasa data siya, hindi siya sa values. Remember, ang mga nasa values lang yung mga vectors. Pag list siya, or data frame, it will fall under data. Yan. If I click this, notice it's a data frame. No? How do I know? Tingnan mo, yung icon dito, yung spreadsheet. In fact, syempre, ginawa niya nga niyang data frame. But anyway, let's get the class of DF. And let's see what class this object DF is. Okay, data frame siya. So remember class, ang data frame is a rectangular array-like structure. May mga columns, each column has its name, may rows tayo, each row is unique. Kaya hindi na uulit yung, hindi pa pwedeng 1, tapos 1 ulit, tapos 2, 2, 2. Hindi ganun, no? Okay. So, if I want to see my DF here, I'll click this spreadsheet icon, lalabas na dito. Ito yung N, ito yung S, ito yung B. 2, 3, 5, A, A, B, B, C, C, true, false, 2. So this is our first data frame. Actually, hindi. Yung second natin. Second na to kasi may marketing tayo kanina. Okay, any questions so far, class, about data frames? No questions? Clear so far? Yun na lang question ko. Clear so far, class? Okay, thank you. All right. Next, let's have example number 2. I think you have this, right? I didn't remove this example. You have example number 2, right? Plus, tama, you have this. Okay. All right, thank you. So we're now creating another data frame. Okay, first, we have this, we're creating this object, employee.data, and we're supposed to create a data frame. Okay, so pag data frame, kailangan may mga columns tayo. Tapos kung ano yung mga laman ng columns na yun. Okay, so first, we have this object called employee ID. Ito yung name ng column natin. And then we have this function run if. Okay, tingnan muna natin yung run if, no? Ano bang ginagawa niyan? Question mark run if. So this is from the stats dataset. Okay, so parang R norm siya, no? Yung natin yung normal distribution, yung norm, R norm, D norm, Q norm, P norm. Ito naman, it's not normally distributed, it's uniform distribution. Okay? So ang function yan, uniform, no? UN stands for uniform. So it's this is the distribution. Okay? This is the probability. This is the quantile. and this is the random. Okay, so random, uniform, if. Okay, so what will this give us? Take note of the syntax. N has something to do with the number of elements, and then minimum, and then maximum. Okay, kuha nga tayong example dito. Wala ditong ito run if, no? Random, uniform. Okay, sige. Copy natin yan, i-run natin dito sa console. Control V. Okay, we're creating this object U, and we're generating random, uniformly distributed numbers, 20 all in all. Okay, ano ibig sabihin 20? Kasi tatlo yung syntax dito, di ba? Ano sabi? Yung una, yung n, kung ilan. Tapos, minimum and then maximum. Alright? So, what will happen here is that meron tayong minimum, maximum, which will be the default. So, even if we don't write this, i-default ni Aryan sa minimum 0, maximum 1. So, between 0 and 1. Of course, you can change that. Okay, so if we kunin natin tong head. Okay, so let's run this. Control Enter. And it will give us the first 6. Of course, magkakaiba tayo, no? Okay, what do you notice? What numbers do this generate?
Between 0 and 1, sir.
Yes, correct. No? Kasi ang default niya, maximum 0, minimum 1. Okay, if you change it, gawin natin tong arrow up, gawin natin tong maximum equal to minimum equal to, say, 100, maximum equal to 1,000 or 200. Right, so i-run natin to. Okay, so I have now here numbers between 100 and 200. Okay, so yung ginagawa ni ni run if, uniform yan, uniform distribution, random. Okay, so let's go back here. So dito, nagpapa-generate ng 10, no? N to eh. Minimum of 100, 1,000, maximum of 999. Okay, so this is the first column, employee ID. Take note, data frame tayo, no? We're asking R to create a data frame. And then ito random to, magkakaiba tayo yan. And then employee name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10. 10 dapat kasi, okay, bakit 10 class? Kasi 10 yung ID natin. Okay, so remember, kapag data frame, dapat pare-pareho, no? Pareho yung mga observations natin. Employee name, you have 10 here. Salary, yan, naka-identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 din. So, okay to. And then start date, kung kailan nagsimula yung employee na sa company. Okay, as that date, you remember this? As that date, and then tapos year, month, day, yung format. Unless babaguhin natin using using either MDY, YDN, etc. Okay. All right, and then we have something here, strings as factors is equal to false. Okay, anong sinasabi niya? Naalala niyo yung discussion natin kanina on factors? Factors, okay, you can convert a particular variable, a character variable, as a factor. Ibig sabihin classifier. Okay, dito, makikita natin na ang mga characters dito, itong names at saka itong dates. Okay? So, yung mga names, unless you want the names to be grouped accordingly. Kung pareho mga Rick, pareho mga Dan, pareho mga Michelle, you want to group them as one. In this case, hindi naman, it doesn't make sense. Wala naman tayong purpose, walang utility to make them, to group all the Ricks, group all the Gilberts, and unless na gusto mo talagang i-group siya, then saka nyo pwede ilagay na ito. No? This one, yung strings as factors. Okay, so we now have, we're now creating an object called employee data. Okay. Tapos ito kasi, ang mangyayari dito yung run if natin, may decimal to, no? So lagyan natin to ng ano, round natin siya. Tapos gawin natin 0, no? Walang decimal place. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so what I'm doing now here is that we're creating a random numbers, uniformly distributed, and then walang decimal place. Round 0. And of course, if you want us to have the same numbers kasi may random number generator tayo, pwede tayo mag-set that seed. Set that seed, say 100. Okay? And itong random uniform distribution generator will give us the same output. Pare-pareho. Naka-round siya, ibig sabihin walang decimal place. Okay? So let's run this. Run, and then do we now see our object? Okay, automatically makikita nyo dito class na print niya. Employee ID, employee name, salary, and start date. Now question, do we have the same employee ID? 3770 ba sa inyo? 3319? Kindly chat please if you got the same random numbers. Yes, yeah, I was expecting a yes from you kasi nag-set that seed tayo. Okay, so ito yung mga IDs nila. Okay. So you notice that meron na tayo ditong ano, we now have an object called emp data. So ito emp data. No? So let's click this. Yan yung object natin, 10 lang. Employee ID, employee name, salary, and then you have your start date. Is there a specific reason why the equal sign is used rather than saan? Okay, dito. Dito. Sample 2. Okay. So, ang object natin dito, employee data, no? And then we're coercing it to become a data frame. Okay, so ano yung laman ng employee data? So, employee ID. Okay, let's see what happens if we use here, kahit ito lang, no? Pwede ba yon kung dalawang beses natin ginagamit ngayon si assignment operator? So we're assigning employee data, the name employee data to this function, pati si employee name. Okay, pati si salary. And then pati si start date. Okay. Let's see what happens, class. Will this work? Mag-work ba to kung you have an assignment operator inside an assignment operator? Kindly chat please if that will work. Thank you, Luis, for that good question. Class, pag mag-question pala kayo, make sure that it's shared to the whole class so that the others can benefit also from that question. Okay, what happened, class? we replace the assignment operator. Kasi technically you can say, pero sa employee ID, it's also an object, no? What happened, class? Feedback, please. Did it work? Did example 2 work if we're going to replace yung second may equal to yan, di ba? Pinalitan natin ng assignment operator. Okay, si Miguel lang ba may comment? Okay, isa lang yung comment, si Migs lang. How about the others? Okay. Alright, good. Sige. So, pwede siya, no? Pwede siya kasi strictly speaking here, we're just creating this object employee ID and it consists of 10 elements tapos randomly generated na uniformly distributed, no? Ganun din sa employee name, salary, etc. We could have also replaced this by equal to. So it doesn't matter kung assignment operator na less than minus yung gagamitin natin. So we're just ingat lang tayo kasi minsan yung kunyari, we're creating this object na employee data, tapos gagamitin natin na equal, tapos may mga equal pa tayo dito. Sometimes, I've experienced before, it creates a syntax error, no? Nagkakaroon ng syntax error yung object na yun. Okay? But in this case, pareho siyang gumana lahat. Okay? So, who was the one who asked the question? Did that answer your question? Okay, thank you. All right. So, sabi natin, nag-create tayong panibagong data frame, di ba? So, ayan, DF natin, data frame siya. And how do I know it's a data frame? Makikita dito icon, no? So, this is a data frame. Okay? And I think we chinek natin yung di ba? Chinek ba natin yung dito ko na lang pa-type class. Yung object natin is DF. And the class is it's a data frame. Okay, so let's move on. Another example of a data frame. Okay. So ito, may mga functions tayo dito, no? Tsaka may subsetting tayo dito. Alright, sige, so let's work on this. Example 3. So ID tayo, we're creating this object. This is, what structure is this class? What structure to? ID tapos 1 up to 200. Class? Ano structure yun? Okay, so the answer is this is a vector, di ba? Vector to. 1 up to 200. In fact, it's a character vector. Integer, no? 1 colon 200. Tapos next, you have this. Ano naman itong next object natin? We're creating this object called group and it contains ano tong rep class? Rep stands for repeat, no? So dito, repeat daw yung word na vehicle 100 times and repeat drug 100 times. Okay, so apparently this is a a record of let's say deaths, yung mga namatay either by vehicular accident or by drug abuse. Okay, so and then we have another object which is okay normally distributed to, no? R norm. And then we have 100 objects, 100 observations, mean of 25, standard deviation of 5. And the other one is R norm also, 100, mean of 23, standard deviation of 45. And then ito, we're now creating this data, my data frame. Okay? So pinagsasama na natin dito yung dalawang to. So, meron tayong ID, bibigyan natin siya ng pangalan na patient. And then meron tayong yung group dito, bibigyan natin ng pangalan na treatment. And then yung capital response for the response object. So for us to have the same answers, kasi mga randomly generated, to mag-set that seed tayo. Set that seed, let's say, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 2, 3, 4. So, ang mangyayari dito, okay, huwag na natin ipa-print class, no? Tanggalin natin parenthesis dito. Huwag na muna natin ipa-print kasi to remove those. Oh, may error daw. Group. Ay, wait. Dito pala. Tapos dito yung response. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yan. Okay, so let me close this. I-close ko na muna to, no? So let's generate this. Set that seed 2, 3, 4 para pare-pareho tayo kasi may mga randomized value dito. R norm at saka R norm. Dalawang R norm dito. Okay, so running this. So what happened? Yung ID class, nagkaroon na tayo dito ng ID. There. Vector siya. Yan, integer from 1 to 200. Okay, tama, di ba? It will not fall under your data. Kasi si ID, vector lang yan. Okay, how about group? Ano si group? Vehicle at saka drug. I-repeat lang siya ng 100 times. So either vehicle at saka si drug. So that's also a vector, di ba? Yan. So 100 na vehicle, 100 na ganyan. Wait. Vehicle at saka drug. Okay. And then we also have another vector, yung response. No? Okay, so yung my data natin na create natin, andito siya sa data. It's a vector. No? Sorry, it's a data frame. Spreadsheet icon, i-click ko to, then ito. So we should have the same values. No? For the response. Pare-pareho yung values. So vehicle 100, tapos drug 100. So all in all, 200 observations. Okay, pause for a while, class. Kindly chat, please, if you got the same answer. dapat pare-pareho tayo ng values. Kasi nag-ano tayo eh, yan, 28.735 and then 28.30, etc. So you should be getting the same answers. Okay, good. Okay, balik na tayo sa code natin. Alright, so let's generate the first 6 observations. So ito, tanggalin natin to. Hindi na data will be different kasi nag-set that seed tayo, no? Okay. So yan ang first 6 observations. Okay, ito na ang first 15 observations. Kasi 15 to. Yan. First 15. And then dito, okay, last 12. Last 12. Okay. So, observation number 200 should be drag tapos 14.48753. We should have the same values. Okay. Tapos, di ba kanina kinuha natin yung length? The length function will just give us the number of variables. So in this case, tatlo yung variables. However, remember this is rectangular. So pwede natin kunin yung dimension. Dimension ng my data is 200 rows by 3 observations, by 3 columns. 200 rows, 3 columns. Yun ang dimension ng my data natin. If we get the structure, okay, anong structure ng data natin? Sasabihin na it's a data frame, 200 observations of 3 variables, and then bibigay sa atin yung my data, $patient, my data, $treatment. Ito yung mga variables natin. Alright, and then also summary, yung mga summary. Itong patient, walang ibig sabihin yung summary nito kasi index lang yan, ano? So kinuha lang niya yung minimum ng 1 up to 200 maximum and then just get the average, etc. So that has no relevance to us. Yung treatment naman, take note, treatment is a so what class? Character yan. Check natin, ha? Class. Okay, treatment. What's the answer there, class? Sige nga. What's the answer there? Ano yung class ni treatment? Class? Ano answer nyo? Class ni treatment. Share your answer, please. Yes. Okay. Error. No? Bakit error? Error dapat ang kakalabasan ng class. Kasi, okay. Tingnan natin sa mga objects, no? What are the objects that are, ito, yung mga objects na available? Wala sa data, wala sa values, si treatment. So treatment is not recognized by R. Ano yung treatment na yan? Sabi ni R. No? Kasi wala namang treatment dito eh. Pero alam natin, class, na si treatment is a variable under my data. So when you want to know more, to know about the class of treatment, hindi pa pwedeng treatment. Kailangan ilalagay natin dito my data. Okay? My data yan, di ba? So, my data, and then put a $sign there. Which means that, tingnan nyo I'm going to write my data and then $sign. What happens? Okay, nag-i-intelligent siya na sa my data ko, ang laman yan, patient, treatment, at saka response. Okay, I want treatment. So tab, yan, treatment. Yan. Sige nga, class. Have a look and see what's the class of my treatment. Of treatment, please. Okay, answer is yes, correct. Character, no? Character siya kasi ang treatment, 'di ba? Ang answer niyan either vehicle or ano ba 'yun? Ano ba yung ano? Sorry. Yung treatment natin is vehicle or drug, 'di ba? All right, how about response? We know that response is numeric. So dapat numeric 'yan. If I Control C, Control V, if I run this, my data dollar automatically lalabas si response tab. So it's numeric. Okay. Okay, so it's yeah, time na, no? So just one last class, no? Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Okay? So pwede nating ma-subset si ano si my data. Just this last one. No? Okay, my data 1, 2. Ano yung 1, 2 dito? Row 1 and column 2. So if I run this, okay, ano lumabas? Okay, my data, row 1, column 2 is vehicle. Check natin. My data, ito, no? Row 1, column 2. First column, second column. Yeah, 2. Vehicle. Okay? All right. So let's, it's already time. Sorry for extending a bit. Now, I will leave you guys. Sige, I think kailangan pa rin natin discuss to, no? So sa Monday, ganito, no? Sorry for a bit of extension. I'm going to share with you. Paki-download to class, and please have this ready. Please have this ready on Monday. Kasi continuation natin to ng ano, desktop, and then FINTSAR. Okay, this one. Okay, paki-download siya, tapos paki-load sa our project natin. And we're going on Monday, tapusin natin to. Tapos isama na rin natin yung ano, matrices and arrays. All right? Okay, so with that class, thank you so much. I'll see you on Monday. Face-to-face tayo sa Monday. Okay, thank you. I hope you learned something today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ay, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, si Jacob Garcia, sir, he wasn't able to attend daw. He messaged you, sir, kanina sa Zoom kasi he was in the hospital po, sir. Meron
Yes,
po siyang
yes.
torn ACL, sir. Pasensya
Yeah,
na daw siya. He
okay.
will make bawi naman daw.
Oh, anyway,
Sorry, sir.
naka-record naman tapos ano. I got his message. Thank
Sir,
you.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sige. All right.
Sir,
Yes.
I was able to attend our class last Monday po, pero it was not reflected in
Monday.
the Zoom.
Kasi face-to-face tayo ng Monday kaya ano.
Yes,
Kaya,
sir. Tapos, hindi po ako na-check for attendance nung Monday.
He was there, sir, sa nung Monday po.
Monday. Sino to?
Nieto, sir.
Ha? Nieto? Wait, ha? Ito pala yan. Monday. Ano ba yung Monday? May 15?
Yes, sir. May 15.
Nag-check ba ako ng attendance sa Monday?
Yes
Parang
po,
wala.
sir. Check po.
Ba't walang nakamark dito? Okay. Hindi. Parang, ba't wala siyang ano? Okay, sige. Anyway. Ayan. Okay, sige. All right?
Thank you, sir. And then last question po. What does length do again, sir? Inputting length.
Length, kung ilang yung elements ng ano, kunyari vector siya. And let's say it's a vector containing 10 elements. Pag kinuha mo yung length nun, ang i-return na 10. Kung ilang elements ang laman
Okay,
ng
sir. Thank you.
object. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, may question ako, sir. Since kanina kasi, sir, di ba napag-aralan natin yung row tsaka columns?
Yeah, oo. Ray, sorry.
Doon kasi, sir, sa row... Sir?
Oo, sige, sige.
Doon kasi, sir, sa row tsaka sa column na yon, ano lang siya, yung month? Di ba,
Month.
sir? Yes, sir.
Anong object to? Yung dinidiscuss ba natin to ngayon?
Yes, sir. Yung pinakauna, sir. Yung pinakauna talaga. Kanina.
Saan? Sa
G4 ata yun, sir.
G4. G4 dito yun, ano? Dito yung G4. Sa ano, sa ito to?
Yes, yan.
Ito,
Yes,
oo.
yes, yes.
Mm-mm.
Since kasi dyan, sir, alam naman natin na 12 lang yung months eh.
Mm-mm.
Paano, sir, yung dating pina-project mo sa amin dun sa Analytics, yung parang, paano kung marami ka ng data, tapos iba't iba yung data mo, kunwari, per stock, di ba per stock, gawan mo kami, sir, ng data nun, tapos kukunin lang yung yung for this year. Tapos, alam ko, sir, yung sa assignment ko pa nun, parang closing lang ata. Pwede ba lagyan ng head?
Pwede naman, pero pag ganyan, pag papakunin lang yung closing o ano, ang ginamit kasi natin doon, quant mode. Diba? Yung quant mode kasi may mga functionalities yan na best suited for that type of data. Ito, vector lang to eh. Yung quant mode kasi, yung ano kasi yung data natin doon, extensible time series yun eh. So, ibang klaseng data yun.
I see.
Okay? So, babalikan natin yung pagdating natin sa time series.
Okay, sir. Na ano na ako kasi, baka kasi mamaya, pwede pala. Tapos, yun na lang para, yung mas madali sana.
Oo. Well, yung
Pero yun
subsetting doon, pwede rin naman kaso, okay. Pwede rin actually na yung sa subset mo yung using brackets, no? Pero dito hindi mo
Yes,
pwedeng
sir.
magamit yung ano. Hindi mo pwedeng magamit dito yung kasi wala namang pangalan yung mga ano ito eh. Wala namang columns to kasi ano lang to eh. This is just a vector. Vector lang siya. So walang pangalan yung ano. Tingnan mo ha. Lagay ko dito names. Names G4. Walang pangalan. Kasi yung names, it stands for the name of the column, the name of the variable. Diba? Ito wala namang pangalan yung, hindi naman siya variable talaga, hindi naman siya, this is not a data frame, it's just a vector. So walang pangalan yung column niyan. Kaya yung sinasabi mo na isa subset yung adjusted lang o yung closing lang,
Yes,
hindi pa
sir.
pwede dito yan kasi
Yes,
wala
sir.
nang pangalan yung mga ano dito eh. Wala namang pangalan yung isang row na to. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Gets ko na.
Alright,
sir.
sige.
Thank
Hindi ko
you,
po
sir.
lang